Good evening, and welcome to our Easter Eve meditation. On most Easter evenings, we would be gathering at St. John's for the Great Vigil, which I had never experienced until I came to St. John's, and it has become my favorite service of the year. But we do have the opportunity to gather with Bishop Rob at 8 o'clock for the Great Vigil, and the link for that will appear. But tonight, I invite you to join with me in hearing the gospel reading for tomorrow, for Easter Sunday, taken from Matthew's gospel. After the Sabbath, and toward dawn on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to visit the tomb. And suddenly there was a violent earthquake, for an angel of the Lord, descending from heaven, came and rolled away the stone. The angel spoke, "There is no need for you to be afraid. I know you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He is not here, for he has risen. Go quickly and tell his disciples. He has risen from the dead, and now he's going ahead of you to Galilee. This is where you will see him. Look, I have told you." Filled with awe and great joy, the women came quickly away from the tomb and ran to tell his disciples. And suddenly, coming to meet them, was Jesus. This gospel story, we talked about it reading between the lines on Wednesday, and it reminded me of a reflection that I'm very fond of in a book that I'm very fond of, which is this one, Seasons of Your Heart by Macrina Whitaker. And I wanted to share that reflection with you tonight. One of the women mentioned is Mary Magdalene, and Mary Magdalene turns up in all four of the gospel stories of the resurrection. And she has become known as the apostle to the apostles, given the charge to tell the good news of Jesus's resurrection to his disciples. So I'd like you to imagine that Mary is speaking to you now. On Easter morning, should you be surprised to find Jesus coming to meet you? But what if you didn't know it was Easter? What if there had never been an Easter morning before? What if it was the day after the most sorrowing day you had ever experienced? The day after that painful Sabbath where he had lain in the tomb dead. Dead as your hopes and dreams. Dead as your joy. Dead as the life you once felt. It is so amazing then, this trembling awe we felt. We came to the tomb to find him dead as our hearts, but an angel was there with a story of life. If you're wondering what Easter really is, it's finding leaven in a dough that was dead. It is despair moving over to make room for hope. It is joy suddenly crowding out your sorrow. It is a tomb transformed into a womb, life pushing its way out of death. It is the stone being rolled away on the morning of a great sorrow. The angel of life at the tomb of death. And I don't know whether this is really a prayer or a reflection or what you would call it, but it's a plea for us to be angels of life, bringers of the good news of God's love. When dawn stands still with wonder, when birds jubilate in the trees, when buds hurry into blossoms and grass starts wearing green, I always know that Easter wants to come again. But deeper yet and richer still, when Jesus, imprisoned in me, asks me to roll away the stone that locks him in, then Easter wants to come again. So let it come. It's one dawn past rising time, and resurrection is the wildest news that's ever touched this crazy, mixed up world. It says yes when everything else says no. It says up when everything else says down. It says live when everything else says die. Easter's standing at your door again. So don't you see that stone has got to go? That stone of fear, of selfishness and pride, of greed and blindness, and all the other stones we use to keep Jesus in the tomb. So here's to rolling stones away, to give our Lord the chance he needs to rise and touch a troubled, lonely world. Some call it resurrection. It's wild with wonder. It's beautiful and real, intent on throwing life around. It touches and it heals. Yes, Easter, you can come. An angel of life I'll be. I'll roll the stone away and set you free. There's a verse in the first letter of John, which reads, God is love, and those who live in love live in God, and God lives in them. And that is the Easter message, that love wins. So I'm going to invite my sister, Kath, who's here with me, and we invite you to sing with us. We're going to sing a Taizé chant, which is Ubi Caritas, and join in or just listen, whichever you prefer. Ubi Caritas et amor, Ubi Caritas Deus ibi est, Ubi Caritas et amor, Ubi Caritas Deus tibi est, Ubi Caritas et amor, Ubi Caritas Deus tibi est, Ubi Caritas et amor, Ubi Caritas Deus tibi est, Ubi Caritas et amor, Ubi Caritas Deus tibi est. Where there is love, there is God. So Easter blessings to you all. Do join the bishop for the Great Vigil, and that can be found on the diocesan website information. And join us live at 8 o'clock in the morning for a Rite One morning prayer, or on demand for the later service. God bless. Good night.